Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I was going back and forth between two different stories that I want to talk about. And I'm going to go with the third story. It's going to be kind of my confessional again today. I am serious. I want to ask you guys' opinion because I don't know what to make of this. Okay, initially, I was going to talk about, let me ask you guys in the comments, tell me if you know this show Storage Wars. And there was a person on there. It's a reality show that went off about 5 years ago. And it's still on TV a lot. And there was a guy on there, a very narcissistic, arrogant guy called Roy. He passed away now. Let me know if you're interested in talking about Roy from Storage Wars. I'll leave that right there. Let me know in the comments. All right. Then I was going to talk about Christian Walker. Christian Walker is in the news again today. Hysterical personality disorder. I did a video about a month ago. And he's filming himself. He gets out of a car and starts yelling at, supposedly this woman's a singer, Kehlani. Look, I'm a 56-year-old straight dude in Connecticut. I have no idea who Kehlani is. Kehlani? I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know who she is. But it made me realize how Hollywood and Los Angeles, I think that's where Christian Walker mainly is it's like a different planet. Compared to Connecticut or the rest of the country. There's these two famous people in cars that probably cost more than most people's homes at a Starbucks, calling each other a-holes, and and then Christian Walker gets out and approaches the window because he heard the singer Kehlani. He heard her say to the barista, he must have been listening, that Christian Walker's behind me and he's kind of an a-hole, so be safe around him. That's what she said, and he heard her. So he gets out screaming, how dare you call me that? You have your opinion, I can have my opinion. Get your coffee and go, get your coffee and go. And he's filming himself as he goes up to her window at the drive-thru screaming. I thought about this. If I did this at a drive, first of all, I can't even picture this kind of, these cars and these people around here. But if I went up to a woman's window in the drive-thru anywhere around here, I wouldn't be sitting in front of this camera today. I'd be in the hospital or a jail or getting treated for chemical burns to my face or God knows what. Hollywood is a whole different world. But I'll put that link below so you guys could see that. That's all I really got to say about that. Basically, Christian Walker was angry because this woman said, be safe around him. He's an a-hole. And he actually makes her point crystal clear by being a flaming a-hole. He couldn't try any harder to just be an ass. All right, enough about Christian Walker. Yesterday, something happened to me, and I don't know what to make of it. I walk around, I do about a 4-mile walk around this town, Bristol, Connecticut, home of ESPN and the country's oldest amusement park, Lake Compounds, and a slew of other things. But anyway, I walk around town here, and I was walking about 6:30 or 7 yesterday, and being from the background, the drug world that I was in, I pay close. I try to see everything around me, behind me, front of me. I keep an eye on people. Anyone coming anywhere towards me, I notice. And I see a black man coming across a parking lot. And this, it's just listen, because I feel guilty just by saying it's a black man, but that's who he was. And it kind of plays into this, because how I reacted. And I make eye contact with him. I see him looking at me. And when I notice that, he looks away. Okay, so I crossed the other side of the street where I usually walk. It wasn't because he was coming this way, but I usually do walk on that side of the street because it's closer. It's more towards where I'm headed. Okay, so this man comes and starts walking on the sidewalk that I was on. And he's matching my pace identically. I mean, granted, we're both walking quickly. He's a black man, probably in his 30s or late 30s. Thick beard, stylish looking, dress shorts, stylish shoes, a valise or something he had over his arm, kind of business stylish looking. And I get the feeling that he's in sync with me purposely. All right. Now this is where it gets weird. So I notice now he's crossing the street right towards me, right directly towards me. Okay, now let me say this. And he gets close to. I just kind of smile. I look at him. I keep smiling. I keep walking forward. If this had been anybody else, if this had been a white dude, I think I was more friendly because it was an African American man. Because I didn't want to appear alarmed because he's a black man's coming towards me. You know, if this had been any other, say, a Caucasian guy or anyone, any other man, a woman I wouldn't consider a threat. If it was a woman, I probably would have smiled more and just thought she was coming to talk to me. But if it was a Caucasian guy, I would have gotten angry. Like, you know, what do you want? All right, so he walks right over within about 8 feet of me, and then starts. Hi. I say good morning. He says good morning, and he starts walking directly in front of me, about 10 feet in front of me. And so I'm like, where's he? He must be going somewhere on the side of the sidewalk because he came over. He was walking on the other side of the street, matching my speed. Then he comes over to my side, like he's coming right towards me. And then starts walking in front of me. I see him, he's kind of moving his arms like this, and I see a woman coming at us with a dog. And I'm like, oh, this makes sense. You know, he's greeting this woman. He was, you know, oh, it's no big deal. He was coming to greet this woman. And he walks right past her. That wasn't it. So it wasn't that. So this goes on for about a block or two. He's just 10 feet in front of me. If this had been any other person other than a black man, I would have gotten angry. You know, but I didn't get angry because I didn't want to be that guy. You know, and I don't know if I should even, you know, this is my confessional, if I should even admit that. I was more friendly to him. I was more forgiving of him coming into my space because he was a black man. And eventually, he crosses back over to the other side of the street and continues walking for another 3 or 4 blocks until I turned off and went to my home. And I'm like, what was that all about? You know, I didn't see him look in any store windows. You know, just for the life of me, you know, as he was walking towards me, he was looking at me. He seemed to be noticing me. He appeared to want to walk in front of me or be near me. So the first thing that went through my head, like I said, this is a confessional, and please don't beat me up for just being honest with you guys. The only thing I could figure is maybe he was from the LGBTQ community, and you know, and he took a liking. You know, he wanted to see if I was too. You know, I that's the only thing I could figure. You know, I don't think it was threatening or in any way intimidating or threatening. I don't know what to make of it. I don't. It's weird, you know, because he didn't, you know, other than good morning, he didn't say a word to me, and he didn't walk near me. Once he crossed to my side, he walked about 10 feet directly in front of me. And then after about 10 minutes, 2 blocks, he went back over to the other side of the street and continued walking on that side. You know, what is that about? You know, I wouldn't do that to any, you know, that's weird, man. Because you're getting in somebody's space. And you got to remember, this is early in the morning and nobody else is on the sidewalk. I don't know what to make of this. I don't. The one thing I wanted to stress to you guys, though, and like I said, this is my confessional. You know, I don't tell anybody else this, but I was nicer to him. I was more forgiving. I was more apt to overlook this person coming into my space for apparently no reason other than to come into my space because he's an African American man. Because I didn't want to make an issue of it. I didn't want to seem threatened. I didn't want to look like I was threatened or I was frightened or anything like that, like other people do. I was being a typical liberal. I've made other videos about this before. I guarantee 95% of the population acts like this towards other races, you know, black towards white, white towards black, but they don't admit it. Well, this is my confessional, and I'm admitting what went through my mind, you know. I can only figure that maybe he thought I was attractive and he wanted to start a conversation, but he didn't make any attempt whatsoever to make any eye contact other than when he crossed over and then walked directly in front of me. And about 10 feet ahead, so, you know, there was no chance for any talking. So I don't know what to make of this. It's weird. Let me know your opinions. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just a fluke, but with people's the way people act, it was out of character for any other day. For years of my life, I've never seen this kind of situation happen before. It's odd that somebody does this. Crosses into my space purposely, walks in front of me for a block or two, and then goes back to the other side of the street. And it could just be a fluke. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't even. Maybe he's thinking about his day and he doesn't. Maybe he was in the sun or it was warm on that side of the street. I have no idea. Maybe it goes back. Maybe he had some kind of problem working someplace on that side of the street or with somebody on. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe it had nothing to do with me. But like I said, we made eye contact several times. It seemed like he approached me purposefully at the beginning. Let me know. I'm confused. I want to know what you guys think. All right, the link to the Christian Walker story will be down below. Christian Walker will be Christian Walker. All right, you guys have a good Thursday.